Where to everything I love and everything I believe is a true story. So growing up, my dad collected these Playboys. My room specifically, right? The way the house was built, you walk in and you could either go up or down. You couldn't go straight because you would just fall down the fucking stairs. Well, actually, if you went straight, you would be split in half. Okay. So when you went directly downstairs was my whole bedroom, was the whole downstairs. But there's a caveat. So to get to my sister's, you would go down the stairs and go straight into a room. And then basically what would be a living room downstairs was my whole room. So it was open. I never had door, never had privacy, never had nothing. And then at one end was you would go around a corner and then there'd be a metal, like a filing cabinet, but no drawers in it. And inside that filing cabinet were penthouses and Playboys because my dad collected them. Now, that's never a good idea to put that in a young man's bedroom because by the end of my 14th birthday, you couldn't open any of them anymore. Because what would happen is I would put them on the sink, I would jerk off and jizz all over them, and then close it up and then stick it at the bottom of the pile. So the jizz would act like crazy glue. Well, my dad never really paid attention to these. He just thought that they were there. Never really went down and perused them because they were collector's items. To me, they were just hairy pussies, and that's what I thought they all looked like, so I jerked off to them. This is a 100%, there's no sarcasm at all in it. It's just my delivery. So, this goes on, I'd say from 12 to 14, 2 years. There's a lot of fucking books in there. And every time I would do this, I would take it off the top, lift up the bottom, I would jizz on it. Bathroom was right there. So bathroom's here, Playboys are here. Like, Dad, why are they there? Like, you know what I'm going to do with these, right? But my dad never put these two and two together. So I would take it off the top, and then I would lift it up. Okay, so I take it off the top, go into the bathroom, jizz on it, close it up immediately. Instead of wiping it off, putting a toilet bowl, I didn't do any of that. I didn't think about a sock, a t-shirt, because if I put it inside of a sock or a t-shirt back then, my dad would have found it and been like, Johnny, why is your t-shirt stuck together like you use glue? Well, Dad, I was playing with Elmer's paste. There's only so many times that you could say that to where's the glue at? Like, I'm going to take that away because every time I'm washing your fucking shirt, it's always stuck together. And I can't do it, and I don't want to go to Kmart to buy you new shirts. So let's figure it out. Let's get rid of the glue. That's me thinking about it now. I just didn't use that excuse, so I just put it in the little shitty color Hustlers. So when I was done, I would close it up, lift up the whole thing, and then put it underneath. The next day or the day after, I would do the same thing again. Take it from the top. The funny part is the older ones were on the bottom. No, the older ones were on the top, and the new ones, nope, I got it wrong. The new ones were on the top, and the older ones were on the bottom. So it's like I started off with really bushy pussies, right? And they all got stuck together, but eventually it flipped. So now all the new ones are on the top, and the old ones are on the bottom. One day my dad goes downstairs, I guess to look through them, and he's like, well, how come the 1993 version of this with whoever on it is on the top, Johnny? I'm scared out of my ass. My dad is going to fuck me up. He's like, that wasn't up there. Did you read this? No. And he tried to open it up. Okay, this looks good. And then he'd go on the bottom because he'd want a historic version. And all I'm saying to myself is, shit. Now, keep in mind, I didn't go through all the old ones. I would just randomly, because there were stacks. You understand? It was stack, stack, stack. 6 shelves stacked of different Playboys, penthouses. Cherry, I think that was one. That goes to show you how old these were. Cherry, like the fruit. Then eventually he's like, well, how come this one is on the top? This doesn't belong here. This should be on the bottom. But then he goes to pick the one on the bottom. I was fucked. I said, uh-oh. I ran out of the house. I'm not even joking. I ran outside in the backyard. Keep in mind that my room was here. There's a laundry room and then a back door here. He took it from that thing. I heard the paper like crinkle as he's taking it out. I take off. Like Mose from The Office. Just take the fuck off, scared out of my ass. My dad is going to kick the shit out of me when he tries to open this up because I know it's going to be stuck because I've tried to use other ones that I've jerked off to before, and you can't open them. You go to open it, it just sounds like you're ripping it, and it's not going to work. I take off. I go in the backyard. I'm waiting for my dad to come outside to fuck me up. Nothing happens. I said, okay, we're all good. I go in the house, and as soon as I open up the back door, guess who's waiting for me with a belt hanging out of his hand? Oh. I got to get the fuck out of here. There was a spatula because it was a barbecue. The story's still going. There's a spatula that my dad made because he was a welder. Now, on this spatula had like a wire handle, not tight, but it was loose. So you would have a rectangular rod with a wire handle that, like a braided wire, essentially thick. That is the handle. And then it had a metal spatula on the bottom, but it was long. It was used for like a barbecue, barbecue and whatever. He made it. He's a welder. I open the door. I see him with the belt. I see him go to grab the spatula. Okay, now run. I ran so fast. We had a big pool in the backyard. And around this pool, we had these metal, you would put up, not a porch, not a balcony. What is it that calls? It goes around a pool. And he built these and he put those into cement. So these things are sticking up every 6 feet that you would put. What is it called? A patio. I got nothing. Anyway, and I'm running and I'm dipping and dodging and weaving out of these. And my dad starts running after me. He throws the spatula at me. I do like this little number like I'm a football player. I juke. It hits the fucking pool. It goes through the wood and punctures the fucking pool. I'm running around this pool and my sister is out of her fucking window laughing at me because I look like a retard, right? Like I just look like I lost my pants and I'm trying to fucking find them. And my dad is chasing me, but my dad was big. So he's got the belt in one hand. He threw the spatula at me. And all I'm thinking is when he finds me, I'm literally going to have to go to the hospital. I didn't think about calling the cops. I didn't think about running to the neighbors. And it was a very open backyard. So if someone was to look outside and see what was going on, someone would have called the cops. No one did because that's just the way that it was. You're going to get your ass beat. So long story short, he's just like, forget it, Johnny. I don't even care anymore about the Playboys. I don't care about the penthouse. I get it. So it was a trick. He got me on the clickbait. I said, okay, Dad, you're not mad. He's like, no, it's fine, Johnny. Let's just sit down and talk about it. I was scared in my head. This is pathetic that I remember this. I was so scared that he's going to get me. When I get there, he's going to grab me and he's going to beat the shit out of me. So he takes a spatula outside of the wooden pool. Well, it's wood on the outside, but it punctured the wood and the lining. So anyway, he's standing outside by the fence on the other side of the pool. So the house is here, the other side of the pool's here, the pool's in the middle. So I go to the other end of the pool and we're sitting down talking and he's sitting on one of these things that you build the pier on. I'm just going to call it a pier. And he's just talking to me and everything is good. And he grabs me by my ankle. Flips me up. I'm young. I'm 13, 14 years old. I can't weigh but more than 80 pounds, 90 pounds. Grabs me by my ankle. Throws me over the pool, right? I'm kind of dipped into the pool with my head above the water, and he is literally beating my ass with that spatula and the belt at the same fucking time over a Playboy or Hustler or Cherry magazine. Needless to say, about 2 days later, he took this little clear plexiglass thing and nailed it to the filing cabinet. So now no one can access them. Instead of putting them in a secure situation, this story is still not over. Instead of putting them in a secure location where no one will be able to touch it except for you, like in a safe or something, he managed to make a window out of plexiglass and screw it to the fucking filing cabinet. Never watched it, never looked at them again. So I start getting hornier because now I can't read these magazines and jerk off. What do? I do the ultimate betrayal. I said, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to look underneath his bed. I'm going to look through his closet because he's at work. He was a foreman. He was working at Hercules in Sayreville, New Jersey. Plumber Pipe Fitters Union, local Union 9. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to go into his room, and I'm sure that there's going to be porn somewhere for me to watch. And I had a VCR player. So I said, he's got to have some type of VCR. I was horny as shit. right? I ain't fucking yet. I mean, I did have sex, but that's not something that was my daily rotation. So I go upstairs into his room, and then I saw this lovely video. There was a stack. You can look up this video. I still remember to this day. There was a stack of VHSs. And instead of it having like a plastic sleeve or some kind of cardboard sleeve that you would put this into, not the case, not at all. He just had them stacked, and the little label was on the front of the VHS. No diagrams, no nothing. So all you had to work with was the title of the video. So I'm going through these. And keep in mind, I'm young. I don't know much about porn aside from the hairy muff puffs from downstairs on the Playboys, the Penthouses, and the Cherries. So I get this video, and the name of the video is Yank My Crink, I'll Flood Your Mouth. So, put it in the video. I'm watching it. Really, really rustic. Look up the movie. This is a real movie. I watched this for about 10 minutes. And then I realized something's fucked up. Like, this is not the normal porn that I would see, especially in a realistic type of world. Well, it turns out my dad was very heavily into she-males. The women had boobs and dicks, but yet I still jerked off to it because there was anal. But the chicks or the she-males were doing it with other females. So I don't know. I might have had a slight bit of gayness because I didn't have a choice. I didn't have an option. This was all I had to work with. So the moral of the story is being gay is in fact a choice, because I could have continued to watch these videos and choose to suck dicks or jerk off the dicks the rest of my life. I chose what the dick was going into. High fucking five, that's the story. All real. Dad never knew I watched his videos, but I knew every time I saw him, you like chicks with dicks. How about that, Daddy? I've never mentioned it to him. I feel like one day I'm going to see him, probably on his deathbed. Dad, I knew you liked those dicks. I knew you did. How come you never got gay porn? How come she-male? Like, why that specific genre of porn? That's a true story. That is a 100% true story. Like 100%. There is nothing that is swayed away from that. I think still to this day, that same plexiglass that he screwed onto it 20, 30 fucking years ago is still there. Do you know what that's going to smell like when you unscrew that? All that jizz? Do you know what that's going to smell like? All that jizz? Oh, I'm like crying. 27 years later? Those magazines are unreadable.